Who they to all those who celebrate happy football season
Yes,
as we
sir.
inch closer to the starting date for the rest of you fans. Welcome back to another episode of Gridiron Jungle, hosted by your two favorite Bengals fans. My name is Rich, here with my brother Philly. Phil, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Glad to be back, man, and just 1 week closer to the real deal. So I'm looking forward to it.
1 week closer. This is always a crazy time of the year. We wait for football. We're anticipating it. Preseason starts. Now we're a couple games into it, and we know as it's
hmm
August 20th as we're recording this, we know we are 2 Sundays away, 3 Sundays
hmm
technically, but
Yeah,
once this
yeah, yeah,
upcoming
yeah,
Sunday
yeah.
roll,
Yep, yep.
2 Sundays away from really getting things going.
hmm
We talked about it being a unique week for us. The Bengals played on Monday night, and then we turn around and have our final preseason game on
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday night. Yeah, only home preseason game, the whole nine. But before we get into the episode, we just want to thank all of you out there for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting.
Absolutely.
Please remember to like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend, and
Tell two friends.
tell two. Yeah, absolutely. Tell three while you at it. Absolutely. No matter if I don't even tell them, just grab their phone and subscribe.
There you go.
What we doing, man? It's that season. Be aggressive. It's football season.
Link in
Um,
bio.
yeah, man. With that being said, we're going to talk, of course, about the second preseason game at the Commanders. Talk about the offense, talk about the defense, special teams, what we saw, some standout players, the whole nine, and of course, we're going to continue our list of top 10 middle linebackers or off-ball linebackers in the NFL. So we'll have a list for you. We are supposed to have it last week. I fumbled the ball there. But I went ahead and made sure I got the list done for this week. It's going to be an interesting one. We might even
Hey.
have a surprise selection. We never know.
Oh,
We'll see.
okay. All
We'll
right.
see. We'll see. I'll fill you in as we get closer to it.
Yes,
But
sir. I like it.
let's go ahead. Let's go ahead before we get into the game. Let's start with some news. Um, it's no surprise if you listen to the Gridiron Jungle, as we've talked about our offensive line, not just last season, but this season. Our main concern as we rolling into camp is, hey, man, that right guard spot is shaky.
hmm
We are not going to be able to go into the season like that. At least ideally we want it. And then we found out that Dalton Risner, someone who started every NFL game that he's played in, was available and coming into town for a visit. We were instantly excited, except for we got news that there was no deal on the table. Apparently, Risner wants to make some more visits. I believe he's going to that team in Pennsylvania who didn't win the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, that
He's
team.
also going to Seattle. And I don't know if there's another team in the mix there. But Phil, I know this is something that you wanted more than anything
Man.
for us to seal the deal on Risner. How do you feel? Well, A, how do you feel about him being a fit on our offensive line? And B, how do you feel about him leaving the building with no deal in hand?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think he's the perfect fit. He's a great pass protector, hasn't allowed a sack in the past 2 seasons, and like you said, he started every game in those 2 seasons. I think he had 3 penalties over the last 2 seasons, so very clean. Not only does he not allow sacks, he's not giving yards away or taking yards away. So he's not killing any drives. He's not, costing you any downs. That's the type of guy you want protecting your quarterback. And he plays with a mean streak, which I love. And I think it would be a great fit for our offense. And I don't know how he would gel with the other guys on the line, obviously not being in camp and that sort of thing. But definitely, I think adding a player like Dalton Risner, even if he doesn't take the job from Lucas Patrick, which I would expect him to, if nothing else, he raises the floor of that position and of the offensive line just overall. So as far as him leaving town without a deal, I was definitely bummed. I thought if he passed the physical, it was no way he would leave without a deal. But, I kind of had the same feelings with Noah Fant. He was another player that I really, really wanted to add. And once he got out the building and wanted to take those other visits, I was concerned because, when somebody leaves, they don't typically circle back to us. I remember Xavier Howard, most recently, and just other free agents that we brought in over the years. Typically, they don't spin the block with us, or we don't spin the block with them. However you want to look at that. So I'm definitely hopeful, just based on how this offseason is gone, and I'm trying to manifest it as I have all offseason, man. I hope it happens, and I'm really looking forward to that getting done. As you said, come Sunday, we're 2 weeks away from the real thing. So ideally, I would like to, even if he doesn't sign with us, I need a resolution this weekend. You know what I mean? So I can either be over it and know that this is what we're going to be dealing with unless we get somebody after cut down day. But, I definitely would love to get him in camp and get him rolling in that right guard spot sooner than later.
Yeah, it's as I mentioned, we're recording this on a Wednesday. He visited us on Tuesday. Today, Wednesday, he is visiting Seattle, or at least is scheduled to visit them maybe on Thursday morning. I'm kind of with the same. I'm going to sing the same tune I've been singing all off season, similar to what I said about Shamar, similar to what I said about Trey. At the end of the day, man, it's the situation that we're in. We're gonna have to deal with it. I'm with you, Phil. Ideally, I would love for that right guard position, because I'll be honest, I think I said this on last episode. I kind of feel the best about this offensive line that I have since Joe's been here.
For sure.
Minus that, if we had that right guard spot sealed up a little bit better, you really couldn't tell me much. That's going to be a big concern, and that's going to be a weakness. And like I said, we might have a scheme around it, but we can't go 17 games with that at right guard. We just can't. So Risner will be an ideal candidate to be there. We need a vet. We need a dog. We need somebody. It doesn't even have to be a leader. Somebody that's serviceable and is a glass eater, that takes that job seriously and really wants to get after it and protect Joe and take us to the next level. Lucas Patrick wasn't that bad.
No, I thought he played much better this week, than he did week one against the Eagles. So that was still encouraging.
Yeah, but still don't want to necessarily. I don't want to be depending on that.
For sure.
If we have Super Bowl aspirations. So that's kind of what it comes down to. We'll see what happens. Like you mentioned, Noah Fant left the building and he came back. So we'll see if the same thing happened with Risner. We'll see if there's any news tomorrow morning about him signing a deal with Seattle. If not, then I feel good. And it sounds like the other team in Pennsylvania, they're like the last option. I think he really wants to go between us and Seattle. So we'll see how it plays out.
I mean, unless it's just a money thing, I don't understand why he would want to go play for either of those teams, if I'm just being completely honest.
Yeah, you look at this offense and it's a perfect setup. That's what
I
think.
As the great philosopher Herm Edwards says, you play to win the game. So, if you're going to play, you might as well come play with us, in my opinion. So.
I agree with you 100%. Speaking of just dealing with what we have, as the world turns, featuring Trey Hendrickson, still in the same boat, still in the same dilemma. Trey is present. He's at practice. He's at games. He's not practicing. He's wearing Bengals gear. But no deal is in place. There have been reports that have come out. I think Phil has touched on this. It's an agreement on the years. There's an agreement on the overall money. It's the guaranteed money that's slowing this up. And it went from Mike Brown saying that we're not going to trade Trey to the Bengals are listening to trade offers. Apparently, we want a first-round pick and a good young player in return. It doesn't have to be an edge rusher. It doesn't have to be a pass rusher. But somebody that can shore us up. Obviously, that's a little bit more than what any team is going to pay for somebody who is entering their 31st year on the planet. Phil, we said it a couple times, man. We're almost 2 weeks away from the opener. What are we doing? What are we doing, man? What do you think is going to happen? I'm not mad at Trey. Get your money, do whatever you got to do. But similar to what you said about the guard, at this point, I just want a resolution. Are we going to trade him? Are we going to play? Is he going to suit up? Are you going to play week one under the current salary that you have? Who knows? I just wanted some answers. What are you thinking about this?
At the end of the day, I think he's going to be a Bengal. But what's so crazy to me is, if this was Myles Garrett, if this was TJ Watt, same age, I feel like there would be at least a team that would offer a one and a player. So for people to make it seem like the Bengals are being unreasonable for the ask when you got the guy that's led the league over those two guys that I named the past 2 seasons. I just don't get it. So, I personally think that if a team felt that way about Trey, felt that they were a Trey Hendrickson away, then they would have no problem giving up a one and a player. Because chances are, if you feel that way, that one is going to be very low, and it's practically a two, and if you have those type of aspirations, you probably have a player that's solid that you can afford to part with, in my opinion. Now, being that hasn't happened, I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Bengals are trying to leverage just like, hey, no team thinks that you're worth a one and a player. And if they don't think you're worth that, they're not going to pay you what you're asking for. So why don't you take this deal that we have in place right now? We agree on 2 of the 3 things, and honestly, it's really petty, and I don't know how far apart they are as far as guaranteed money. If it truly
That's
is
what
the
I was
6
just
to
about to
10
say.
million that I've heard, if that's true, then shame on both parties.
A
You know
year?
what I mean? Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know if it's a year or total.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Hold on, man.
Because
Hold on.
I don't think it's a year
Hold
because
on.
you always hear total guaranteed. You know what I'm saying?
Time out, man. Phil, if this deal is $6 million away from being done,
You know what
I'm
I'm
gonna
saying?
flip this laptop. I'm gonna flip this table. I'm gonna flip everything that's in this crib over.
For sure.
I hope we're 40 million apart.
No, and see that
Seriously, if we're 6 to 10 million apart, man, I promise I'm going crazy.
right. And the reason why I say it's petty on both sides, on both parties, is one, on the Bengals side, like, come on, just get it done. Like, you piddle paddled around with all these other deals. It's not Trey's fault. You could have had that. If it's 10 mil, you could have saved that on Jamar alone if you would have done him right last year, or on T if you would have done it 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So if it's 10 million, get it done. Now, on Trey's side, the Bengals don't cut guys unless you're just like a back end person with no ties, no equity, no fanfare. Yeah, sure. But the Bengals let play everybody finish their contract. You know what I mean? So what if you agreed on the money, you're gonna get that money from the Bengals. Like, that's just the way they are. Mike Brown honors contracts in a league where owners don't honor contracts. Mike Brown honors contracts and expect players to honor their contracts. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be mad at that. That he's an honorable dude. You know what I'm saying? People can feel however they feel about him, but he's an honorable dude. So that's why I say it's petty on both ends. So at the end of the day, I think it gets done. I think that Trey may just wait to as late as he possibly can. I think Joe signed the day before week 1. Jamar signed the day before week 1. Like, I think it's gonna be one of those type of situations that Trey is gonna sign whatever's on the table the day before week 1. If he doesn't get what he's asking for. That's how I feel. I don't see Trey missing any games.
I hope it gets resolved. That's what I keep saying, man. Just playing the waiting game, I guess we'll just see. It's bizarre. I think you made a great point about sometimes the name. And no discredit to TJ Watt, no discredit to Myles Garrett. But Trey is just as productive the past couple of years as both of them.
Yeah.
Actually, I would argue that he was more productive than TJ Watt, because TJ Watt fell apart at the end of last season. I'm sure there's injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody looks at it. Hey, we're looking at everybody 100% healthy. I get it. But Trey, I've been saying this. Shout out to my brother D Hall. He'll vouch for it. The year we went to the Super Bowl, was that Trey's first year here? Second.
I think it was his second year here.
Either way, I remember saying maybe that year he got here, like, Trey's a top 5 defensive end. Like,
Oh,
was a
yeah.
monster. I was watching the games, and people were laughing at me because, what are you talking about? And then the past couple of years have kind of solidified and validated what I've said. He's been good dude, man. I remember the days when nobody wanted to be in Cincinnati. Everybody was looking to leave Cincinnati. So to hear somebody like that say, "This is home. I love it here." I think, Phil, you were talking about him with the hat on, the Bengals hat, man. I want to be here. Like, this is, this place means something to me. We appreciate Trey, but we just
that was his first year. You're correct.
That's what I thought. Yeah, man. He was dominant. Sack him the Super Bowl, everything. Just one of my that's a special team. Either way, just want to make sure we know what's going on going into week 1. We'll talk about the defense going into our preseason game. So we were at Landover, Maryland. We weren't there, but the Bengals were at Landover, Maryland to play the Commanders. The starters did get some reps. Real quick before we get into offensive defense, I just want to talk about the specialists. Money Mac.
Yes, sir.
I think he might have earned his nickname back.
Yeah.
4-yard field goal late in the game. We only very slow second half. All the excitement happened at the end of the second quarter, really, and throughout the first quarter. But 54-yard, I'm glad to see that. The big news right now is going to be our long snapper battle. Darren Simmons has been
crazy. Just hearing you say that is just crazy.
So Darren Simmons was alternating the long snappers. I don't know how to properly, I guess, convey what Darren Simmons might be looking for in his long snap winner. Maybe consistency more than anything. I don't know if there's a special way that the holders like to catch the ball.
I mean,
I don't know.
They want to know. Kickers like laces in, laces out. Like, are you doing the process the way that they want it? Like, not just is he making the kick, but like, are you receiving and getting the hold down the way that Evan wants it down? Are you getting it down early enough? Are you just getting it down just in time? You know what I mean? It's very intricate. I don't think that's something that I could evaluate well, but Darren Simmons has been doing it longer than anybody. He runs the combine, special team stuff. So if there's anybody I feel comfortable making that decision on that battle, it's Darren Simmons for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll see how that plays out. Who's going to make the team? Like I said, in the long. Well, see, that's an interesting thing about special teams. You brush it off. You kind of have these comments in your head, and you know what? At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Well, yes, you can be a special teams blunder away.
Facts.
From making the playoffs or not, from winning the Super Bowl or not. It could be a missed kick. It could be a missed hold. Shout out to Tony Romo. It could be a bad snap. It could be whatever. Sorry, Donovan. I didn't mean to do that. That was an unnecessary shot. But it could be any of that really matters, especially when the game is on the line. So we'll see how that plays out. Like you said, Darren Simmons knows what he's doing. I got full faith in him. You want to start with the offense or defense on this game?
We can start with the offense. Yeah.
Okay. We got to start with the offense. One thing that I read a stat, Phil, that was fascinating to me. Joe Burrow this preseason has played 44 snaps. His entire 5 seasons prior, 16 total snaps.
Exactly.
Combined.
Yeah.
Combined.
I didn't even think it was that many.
Right. 16 total snaps combined. There was mention of, I talk about routine a lot, just in life. And in sports, it's the same thing, right? These guys have their routine. And I think Joe was very intentional about, we know preseason games are going on. We know we're traveling. We know these games don't mean anything in the record book. But there is something about the mental of getting on a plane knowing that I'm the starter. Knowing I have to prepare like a starter. That kind of kickstarts you into the season. We discussed his performance against the Eagles. He played 2 drives. He played 3 drives this game, and one of them was with the twos.
Yeah.
What you think about Joe's performance? How did he look to you?
How
do you feeling about how things went?
I thought he was okay. I don't think he was great. I really liked the 4-yard touchdown strike to Charlie Jones there at the there late in the second quarter. And honestly, the 1 sack that he took after rewatching, that was on him. That sack was on him. I hate that happened. I think he was only even pressured twice in those 3 drives, and 1 he was sacked on. But that was his own fault. He could have got rid of that ball. He kind of ran away from his blocker. So, to me, that's just a mental mistake on Joe's part, which maybe it is good that he's getting out of his system right now. But honestly, I felt like he kind of took a step back this week versus last week. But again, it's kind of it's to be determined how I feel about the risk versus the reward as far as him playing in the preseason. You know what I mean? Because if we have another slow start, then what's the point of playing you in the preseason? Like, you've been banging the table for this. Well, week one, you better come out cooking. You better drop 40 week one. That's how I'm feeling, you know, because no starter is going to be playing here Saturday against the Colts. So that was it. You know what I mean? Now it's just gonna be going against your guys. You're learning each other's tendencies. I don't even feel like it's a real gauge anymore at this point in training camp. Now that you've gone against other teams, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Now I'm laughing to myself because you're right. What happens if things go off slow again? It made me think of the Team USA doc from the Olympics this past year when Kevin Durant famously says that, you know what I mean, is that gonna help you when you got to guard Steph? And I'm just thinking to myself, are these preseason reps gonna help when we got to stop Myles Garrett in week one? Like, you know what I mean? I just want to make sure that it means something. Especially, okay, you look at the Eagles, they played their twos. So you expect Joe to look like that. Not all the ones were playing. Bobby Wagner wasn't playing. Some of their secondary wasn't playing, but Lattimore was out there. You had some guys out there. And yeah, it didn't look as sharp. The touchdown pass, to your point, when you look at that replay, that's just ridiculous. It just shows you what Joe can do. The windows that he can fit the ball in. Shout out to Charlie Jones. We had been talking about him. Had a great game, another great game this week, in my opinion, compared to last week. Yeah. I think that he's ready. I think that, you know, we were questioning maybe a month ago if Charlie was going to make the roster.
Facts.
And I think between I think he maybe had a 30-yard kick return or something like that.
Yeah, I think he's wide receiver 4.
Well, okay. We'll talk about that. And we didn't. I should have said it. If you're a Bengals fan, you know this. Bengals won the game 31-17.
First win since what? Preseason win since 2022, I think.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, man. 24 first downs to Washington's 14. We ran 71 plays to their 49. I will say, I just want to even with that, right? Here's the one thing that's concerning. Right, and like I said, it's preseason, whatever. We ran 71 plays, they ran 49. We only outgained them in total yards by 23 yards.
Their one scored twice in 7 plays.
Yeah, and mainly on the ground.
Yeah,
all on the ground, if I'm not mistaken. I don't even know. Did Jaden Daniels throw the ball?
No, he didn't have one throw. No, it was the Deebo Samuel 19-yard run. Then it was the Rodriguez 40-yard run, and then Jaden Daniels had the I think the 14-yard touchdown run. There was another play in between there somewhere, another run by somebody. But yeah, they scored on 4 plays.
Yeah, and then they came out.
And then the next drive, they scored on 3 plays, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, then they came out because the rookie came out and scored
Bill,
on that drive.
The running back. Yeah,
Bill. Which his name isn't Bill, but
that's what he goes by.
Yeah. I said that's what he goes by, man.
I never heard someone choose the nickname Bill. That's wild. Like,
hey man, wild boy. 26 for 40 overall in passing. Like I said, Joe 64%, which most you're happy with that usually, but not with Joe. He's better than that. You talk about wide receiver number 4.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about a wide receiver who should have just solidified his spot on the team, Mitchell Tinsley.
Man.
Have a game, young man. Have a game.
That's right. Yeah. He looked like the best player on the field in that game.
Hey, you taking Browning and Tinsley, or you taking Burrow and Chase? Which one?
No, the way they was looking, like that would be a question. Like if you show somebody football for the first time, they'd be like, I don't know.
Before we even get to Tinsley, I just want to tip my hat to Jake Browning. I talked about him after that Eagles game. He looked awful. He stunk. He kind of did the opposite of Joe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where he was terrible that first game. He came out 16 for 25, 159 yards, 64% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, 108.5 passer rating. Played so well that he only left Desmond Ridder with one pass attempt.
And it felt like and it didn't even feel like he had that many incompletions. Like when I looked in the box score and saw 16 for 25, like it didn't feel like that. It felt like he was 20 for 25. Like,
yeah, that's the thing, because Jake, Jake was making some throws.
For sure.
Jake was making some throws, and we talked about this. We saw how good he looked when Joe went down. Like we really should have. Our season really should have been over and Jake kept us in some games and kept us competitive. Shout out to our brother Corey. Corey believes that Jake Browning is a starter.
Yeah.
Somewhere in this league, I don't know what team, but he says Jake Browning is a starter.
Yeah.
And he looked it. He looked the part. He looked like he could give a shot. Listen, if you're gonna give people like Sam Howell and Drew Lock and all these other people chances in the league, I don't see why a team wouldn't take a flyer on Jake Browning if he keeps playing like that and he has some regular season experience. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. We know that you're signing up for backup if you play for the Bengals, but we also know how valuable that role can be for us if necessary. And I don't think the Bengals, and as we get closer to week 1, maybe that first week in September, or right before cut day, I guess, we'll have more conversation about position battles and what we think the team's going to do. I just don't see us keeping 3 quarterbacks. So I'd imagine it's going to be Browning and Burrow.
Yeah. And Ritter probably would clear waivers and make the practice squad, I would think. I mean, I don't think anybody's checking for him, honestly.
I'd be surprised if they were. I'll be surprised if they were.
Otherwise, you'll probably see Logan Woodside back.
Maybe I can see that as well. Mitchell Tinsley. I know we mentioned him briefly earlier. It wasn't just that he played well. It was those. It might be the best. Might be the best wide receiver performance in preseason since Victor Cruz.
Bro,
where you just got a guy on the field that you can't stop him.
I've never seen Jamar that hype. Jamar was turned.
He was
turned. You know what I mean? And Joe too. Like Joe has name dropped Mitch Tinsley a couple times, even prior to this. I think after the game, they said, something about Mitchell Tinsley making the team or whatever. And Joe said something along the lines of, I hope so. So I mean, if Joe's name dropping you like he did, Mike Gritty, that's how Mike got that extension. You know what I'm saying? So if Joe's name dropping you, it's pretty much stamped. So,
do you have Burton ahead of him?
No, I mentioned Charlie Jones as wide receiver 4. I think he's wide receiver 4. I actually think Mitch Tinsley did solidify his spot as wide receiver 5. I think wide receiver 6 is gonna come down to Burton and Isaiah Williams, because it has to be one of those two. Because if Charlie Jones is solidified as wide receiver 4, which I believe he is, then that's obviously your returner. Do you want him doing kicks and punts? That's why you got to have either Burton or Williams. Now, do you really cut a guy like Jermaine Burton that you just drafted in the 3rd round last year? I don't think so. So with that being said, I think Isaiah Williams ends up being the odd man out, which is unfortunate because he was solid for us last year.
Yeah, I think so too. But you can't not keep Tinsley.
Yeah, no. I mean, unless you're gonna trade him, and get something for him. You know what I mean?
Who knows?
Get a backup safety, get a pick, something that you could use, because we do have holes, So
yeah,
wide receiver isn't one of those holes. So
that's the thing I'm gonna say. It's a luxury. It's an embarrassment of riches at that position, because he balled out and the whole world got to see it, and he's become a that game was just a masterpiece. However, how much burn are you going to get?
Yeah,
obviously, they like him. Joe likes him.
He was on that Washington team last year. So,
So, I think that has something to do with it. But Tinsley, like you said, even without this game, they've been talking about him all offseason.
Had a great camp. Yeah.
Great camp so far. Zach Taylor said he's had a great camp out of the wide receiver room. Looking forward to what he does and him making that team. I will say the run game, I'm telling y'all better, before y'all look up, I'm about to have all the Taj Brooks stock. I'm about to have all of it.
He should definitely be RB2, man, without it, no questions.
Yeah, and you can tell. So P. Ryan, he got this. Well, Chase Brown got the start. 5 carries, 16 yards, 1 touchdown. I'm more impressed with Chase Brown and just what he's doing in the receiving game. You can tell he's much more active. He's no hesitation, safety outlet. All you fantasy players, Chase Brown might be a league winner, as they say. But pass protection, man. There was a play, I think it might have been that second drive. It was the play, I forget which drive it was. It's the play where Jamar got the pass interference call. if you remember, on the right sideline. I
Mhm.
don't know which drive it was, but I do know that that ball does not get thrown out if Chase Brown does not make that blitz pickup on somebody who's on my top 10 middle linebacker list.
Yeah. I think I know who it is because he's on mine too.
Yeah. And the other one didn't play. So yeah, it's really only one choice there. So him picking that up just lets you know how in tune he is on the offense. We talked about our line. We're gonna need that running back help. And you're gonna have to stay on the field. Unless it's an obvious, screen or whatever the case may be, you're going to have to pick up and help in pass protection. We know Brooks can do it. Looks like Chase Brown is answering that call as well. And speaking of Brooks, 11 carries, 47 yards, 4.27 a carry, along with 14. No touchdowns, but I think he's special, and it's going to be a crazy 1-2 punch.
Oh
I
yeah.
think he's going to get better as the year goes on. And that doesn't mean you have to diminish Chase Brown's role. But
No.
you can lean on something. It feels good to have a running back too that you can lean on. It kind of reminds me of Gio and Jeremy Hill when we had them together. Just
That's a good
two capable backs.
Yeah.
Two capable backs that we know we got going on. So I'm very good with that. And then
I think that's similar stylistically too, honestly. That comparison that you made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I made it for a reason. And then Fairchild, man. Dylan Fairchild, the number 1 rated rookie. As far as these preseason games are going, we've been raving about him at that left guard spot. I'm happy with what we've been seeing. I was happy when we drafted him. If you go back to that episode, everything that we lived up to or has been built to be, and hope he continues to make those steps. Like I said, I'm good with the tackles. I think Mims was the highest rated offensive lineman in the entire game. Mims just kind of puts his
great.
Fairchild looks great, right? Dylan Fairchild looks great. So yeah, we're gonna see what happens with that right guard. Let's figure something out. Risner come back. Somebody, please help us. Please help us at that right guard spot. But moving on to the defense, I don't know, Phil. Our offense is pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Like Joe Burrow's pretty good at quarterback.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Yoshi, like Kaseki. Like, these guys are pretty good at skill position. Chase Brown, he can play football.
Facts.
Why does our defense look like the 2000 Ravens, 85 Bears in practice, but then they get out in these games and just get gashed up? It's 7-on-7. I don't know what that's about. I need help.
I think some of it has to do with what I said earlier. Like, they've been going against each other in camp. They know the tendencies. They know the calls. Like, that's literally the only players you're going against. So, yeah, you should win those if you know what the other team is doing. You know what I mean? And you're learning tendencies, and you're literally with these guys every single day. So, I know they've said they're not showing things. They're not showing what they're really doing. So, like, other teams aren't either, and they don't look that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, the 2s and the 3s I thought looked a lot better defensively than the 1s. You know what I'm saying? The biggest thing was that tackling. Like you said, it was 4 run plays on that first drive. You know what I'm saying? And big ones. So it's just like that. Like Jordan Battle, I guess if you want to call that a tackle attempt on Jaden Daniels, like knock him out, like make him be in question for week 1 if they want to do that, and if they want to run those type of plays. You know what I mean? Like that was ridiculous in my opinion.
I chalked that up to preseason and maybe professional courtesy.
Man,
guys not taking open shots because it's free. I think that's the only thing I could come with, because it reminded me. So if you look at the steal shot, there's a moment when Jaden Daniels is maybe at the 10-yard line, maybe 8-yard line. You got 3 Bengals around him, and you just freeze it. And there's the caption of like,
he scored.
Not only did Jaden Daniels score, he scored standing up.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of last year at the Panthers. That screenshot of Jamar.
Yeah,
in the middle of the field with all his Panthers, and he scored on this play.
Yeah.
There's no reason, professional courtesy or not, there's no reason Jaden Daniels should have scored. There's no reason Jaden Daniels should have been comfortable enough to even taking that ball out of the pocket and attempted to go for the end zone.
That part.
Like that should never happen. So I don't know what that's about. Going to your point, especially on that first drive, rewatching some of those plays, the point of attack was abysmal.
Yes, it
If you
was.
were shooting gaps, you got to come in with a purpose. You got to come in with a purpose. You got to blow stuff up, and they just weren't. And their offensive line was just taking advantage, and big play after big play after big play on the ground. That's another reason I was upset is because we didn't force them to pass. I want to see what Shamar is going to do in this pass game.
Yeah,
I don't want to see more hard when you're on the play. You're only playing against the ones for 7 plays, and they're all runs.
Exactly. 7 plays, and he had 2 pass rush attempts in those 7 plays, I believe.
Yeah.
And he did have a pressure, but in those 7 plays, and 2 of them he blew assignments. So, you need to be playing more than 7 plays. Like, I don't care if he is a starter. He needs to be playing. Like, he's somebody need to be playing on Saturday, in my opinion. So I think he needs to get as many reps as possible, especially missing that time in camp. I know Murphy's been nicked up and he's been getting some extra reps in practice and that sort of thing. But no, I think he needs more live bullets. I don't think he's ready for week 1. Personally, that Cleveland offensive line is good. You know what I'm saying? And Flacco is hard to bring down, hard to rattle. You know what I mean? So I definitely think he needs to get some more snaps.
I'm hoping our starting defensive unit is pulling a rookie Jamar Chase. It's laughable now, but
all the drops and everything.
All the drops. Jamar's gonna be a bust. Maybe they're playing as bad in week 1. They come out with 5 sacks, only give up 16 points. We got a 38-16 win week 1. I don't know. I'm just looking on the positive side. But I will say, to what you mentioned earlier, Phil, been very impressed with our twos.
Yeah.
Specifically our linebackers.
Barrett Carter,
and
baby.
Barrett Carter is. I was asking myself this question today. When's the last time I bought a defensive player jersey?
I ain't gonna say it.
Barrett Carter or Knight, one of them. It might be it.
I hate both of their numbers. I don't like their numbers, man. That's the only thing that stopped me. Like, I really want a Barrett Carter jersey, but 49, like, that ain't cool.
49 is a little bit weird. It's a little bit odd to spend money on. Absolutely.
If he had 45, like instead of Muma John Meta, like I could get the 45. You know what I'm saying? I can get behind that.
And that's another guy, man. All he does is make plays. Muma John Meta is all I'm on the field, I'm making plays, but we just don't have room for him right now.
Yeah.
Barrett Carter, I believe, was the player of the game.
Man, that interception that he had, even though it was a terribly thrown ball, great play there. Tyson Anderson,
quarterback's terrible.
Yeah, Tyson Anderson also had that interception on a big overthrow. I mean, the receiver was like 4 yards away. Josh Johnson, he just out here collecting a check. He's been in the league forever. So
it wasn't even Josh Johnson. What's my other dude's name?
Sam Hartman.
Sam Hartman looked awful, bro.
Yeah. I think it was after that hit he took. I forget who. Oh, Marco Wilson. I don't know if you remember that play where Sam Hartman had that scramble and Marco Wilson went to make the tackle. He tried to pull up, but he just hit him with his shoulder. He was looking a little woozy after that. I don't know.
Kind of wild, man. Yeah, Sam Hartman.
I was surprised that they get flagged, but I'll take it.
Hey, it is what it is. But I was impressed with, like I said, our it was interesting to see Dak start on the outside. I know he's been playing mostly slot. And
that's
I think
he
took
man.
One on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Fig in the slot.
I mean, for whatever reason, they like DJ
Ivy.
Turner.
Turner.
And if they gonna play Turner, I think he has to play inside. He has. I hate DJ Turner outside. Like, hate him outside. I'd rather have anybody else out there. Newton, Ivy, anybody. PJ Jules. I'd rather have anybody outside than DJ Turner. Like,
yeah, Jules only played 12 snaps too. So
yeah,
he's gonna get a lot of time on Saturday.
And I'm sorry, PJ Jules is not who I'm thinking of. He's a safety. I'm thinking of Lux. I forget his first name right now. Yeah, Lux. Brian Lux. He he actually has looked decent. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, I feel a kind of way about him wearing number 21, but he's definitely looked all right, honestly.
This is actually, I'll be honest with you. These week 3 games, these third preseason games are the ones I look forward to the most.
Yeah.
What are you really
yeah.
getting? You want your guys to look sharp, your starters to look sharp, but as we get closer to cut day, I want to evaluate who should be on the team and who shouldn't. That was another thing that I know I mentioned it, but I appreciate Joe staying in with those twos as far as the receivers, building that rapport.
You're gonna have to
Just
play
making
with
sure
them
you get that
guys.
chemistry going. Yeah, you gotta play with these guys, man. Really get a rhythm going. And I don't know how much the secondary looked great, but the offense for Washington, their passing game looked terrible. So I don't know what to really call it. I'd imagine that with Daniel Jones being named the starter in Indy, we get some Anthony Richardson on Saturday. So at
I
least
would
that's
think
some
so.
good.
Yeah.
So we got starter level caliber. Say what you want about Anthony Richardson. He did start games in the NFL. Still has hopes and aspirations and dreams, and very much so could be starting again this very season. So I'd like to see our guys go against that, see the energy of the jungle before they get back to everything on September 14th. Obviously, I know we play on the 7th, but I mean 14th is our home opener.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Geno Stone was hurt. Got some good looks at safety for some other people. I think we might have already mentioned Dejon Anthony.
Tyson Anderson. I thought he looked
Tyson
great.
Anderson.
He looked great last preseason. So
yeah, for sure. We'll see, man. Like I said, you kind of take it with a grain of salt, mainly because those backups for Washington, man. Jaden Daniels better stay healthy, boy. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say. So with that being said, I feel good about obviously getting the win. Feel good about where everybody stood. I feel great about the fact that all our starters came out healthy. They're not playing week 3. Next time you'll see them will be in week 1 for the Browns game, and it'll be real live action. Obviously, we'll have a recap about the Colts game. We'll talk about roster expectations as we get closer to cut day, as we continue to make our lists. But speaking of those lists, top 10 middle linebackers or off-ball linebackers in the NFL heading into 2025. We're continuing our series. Earlier this week, we released our top 10 running backs. I got a few text messages about it. Like, hey, I didn't know you were Donovan texted me. I didn't know you weren't a James Cook guy. Like I said, man, he's good. I respect the talent. He just doesn't do it for me. Like I said, they told me right now that we're chasing Chase Brown for James Cook. I would be upset.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I would be upset, man. That's kind of how I look at it and what it means. So we're going to continue this list. Middle linebacker, off-ball linebacker, quarterback of the defense, however you want to call it. I'm going to start with a couple of honorable mentions. One of them really is a little bit unfortunate because I think he's an incredible linebacker, but he has an injury that who knows if he's going to play again. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah for the Cleveland Browns.
JOK,
man. JOK, he is a top 10. I think he would definitely have been on this top 10 list if it wasn't for that neck injury. Maybe even top 5, top 3. You can argue with that. Perfect fitting with Jim Schwartz and that defense and everything they want to do. Obviously, your health and all that stuff is more important than anything else. So I hope he has a speedy recovery. But I just can't. I just want to mention him. Same thing. Another guy that I think is really good, really talented if he's healthy. I'm gonna butcher his name. DeMarvion Overshown.
Oh,
Dallas?
yeah. Dallas, yeah.
Yes. Athletically, you can put him up there with Warner.
Yeah, nah, he different.
He's all over. He's different. Like he's a different dude. Like forget Warner. Like he can kind of be in his own class. I don't know if I've ever really seen an athlete play linebacker. Like
yeah.
The question is, can he stay healthy? He had 2 major injuries, one to each knee, and Dallas is hoping that he plays this year. But man, when he's on that field, you talk about a difference maker. I know everybody looks for number 11. I'm sure some Dallas fans could argue that, hey, man, for real, our best player isn't Micah. Maybe not our best, but our most impactful player on defense. The one who kind of makes everything go is going to be DeMarvion. So those are my honorable mentions. Yeah. And I'll tell you who else. He's not really an honorable mention, but I look at him the same way I look at James Cook. Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen's the guy that I just feel like should be better. Should be better than what you are. I don't know.
I agree.
I don't know what it is. He didn't make my top 10. I do respect his
Yeah,
game.
yeah. He ain't on mine.
He didn't make my top 10, but it is what it is. Who you got an honorable mention?
Honorable. I'm gonna start with my expected next season. So expected next season, I got Ernest Jones from Seattle. I know it's gonna sound crazy, but I got Demetrius Knight, the rookie, on there, and I got Dre Greenlaw. I just need to know that he's over. I just need to know he's over that injury. For my honorable mention though, I got 3 guys. The first one that I got is the infamous, the scumbag, Big U's son, Deion Henley. You know what I'm saying? From the Chargers. Hey, the boy is nice and he is a bully like his pops. You know what I'm saying? So he's a player. I know he's not talked about a lot, but I think he should be, and I definitely think he could end up on this list next year. Next, I got Robert Spillane from Vegas, the Raiders. Previously played with Miami. Man, it was really hard not putting him on this top 10 list, if I'm being honest. And another guy that almost made my list, we talked about his brother earlier in our rankings, and that's Quincy Williams from the Jets. That was my last honorable mention that I had there.
I like those. I'll go ahead and kick off our list, Phil.
Yes, sir.
Number 9. Excuse me, number 10. Excuse me.
Okay.
Number 10. It's funny because just like most of our lists, the top part was easy. The back half, you can make arguments for a lot of people, but it's my list. I'm gonna stick with it.
Yeah,
Detroit Lions.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Somebody who was made for Dan Campbell defense.
Yeah.
Shares Dan Campbell's name. Except for his name is Jack. I'm going with Jack Campbell, man. Linebacker out of Iowa, 6'5", 246. Old school style. Bring back the big shoulder pads. Bring back those big linebackers, not these small dudes who are just running around the field. 6'5", 246 pounds. Just an old school linebacker who's actually better in coverage than I think a lot of the position today is how well can you cover. It's inconsistent, but it's not as bad as what I thought it was when I started looking up some highlights and things of that nature. I think that he's a great catalyst in that, if he gets a healthy DJ Reader, a healthy line, he's really going to cause some havoc. 17 games both his years in the NFL. Every single stat increase except for sacks. He had 2 last year, 1.5 this year. Middle linebackers don't really, they're not known for their sacks, but everything else he went up in a dramatic fashion at that. He's going to get better. He's going to continue to do so. He's at number 10 on my list for that reason. What you got at number 10, Phil?
Hey, while you're there, if Detroit calls you and says, I got Jack Campbell in a 1 for Trey, what you doing?
So the answer should be yes, but my hesitation is, I guess that's how I feel about Knight and Barrett.
Okay.
Like, if you're giving him, technically, here's how I look at it. You're giving him away at that point.
Yeah.
I'll give up Trey for the 1. If I'm getting Jack Campbell because of it, then cool.
Yeah.
I'll take that too.
Take
that too. But I just think there's. Can we get Kirby? Can we get Kirby Joseph?
Hey now.
I'll take a 2.
Hey now. Yeah, facts.
You keep Jack. That's what I'm not mad at Jack. I'm just more so like there's other places that I would like to have covered before we get another middle linebacker. I actually feel good about our linebackers.
I was talking to my boy Scoops, man. Shout out my boy Justin. I said said if Atlanta offer you Bates and something, Bates and a 2 for Trey.
For Trey? Yeah, well, run that. What are we talking about?
Yeah, for sure.
Run it. Easy. But he should have never left.
Enough of my tangent. My number 10, he also wears blue, but it's a different blue. And that's Zaire Franklin, man. I couldn't leave him off the list. I know he's hated by that guy that's loved in Indy, Pat McAfee, but there's no way I could leave Zaire Franklin off this list. I believe he led the league in tackles again, or was tied for the league with 115, 61 stops, 4 sacks from that middle linebacker position. Missed tackle rate was 11.6. So, definitely solid and somebody that's led the league in tackles multiple times. So Zaire Franklin's who I got at my number 10. So I'll go ahead and just do my 9 real quick because it's your number 10, and that's Jack Campbell. So you already touched on him. Thing I really love about Jack Campbell, you talked about the size, his ability to cover at that size, but 7.5% missed tackle. He doesn't miss tackles, man. If you in single digits on missed tackles, man, the guys aren't even getting to your safeties. They're not getting to that third level. So for that reason, I had Jack Campbell at 9. So
got you, man. I'm gonna move my number 9. Maybe a little low for some people. The ageless wonder.
okay,
This is year 14 for him.
all right,
Maybe year 4. There's a couple ageless wonders on my list, but
yes,
this
sir.
one, he's gonna be with his organization for the entirety of his career. He's gonna retire a Buccaneer.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say
Last
I
year
know where you're
played.
going.
Last year played 17 games, 122 tackles, 5.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 1 interception, 9.5 stuffs. I just don't know how he keeps operating and moving at this level at this stage in his
Man,
career. But Levante David,
yes,
he's
sir.
been the example of consistency. He's almost like the Mike Evans of their defense.
Facts.
Like every year, I'm just gonna come in and put up these numbers.
Yeah.
They might not be the sexiest, they
Yeah.
might not be the craziest highlights, but you're gonna get that consistency.
Yeah.
He's been playing these roles and kind of being the leader of that defense since he's been there in 2012.
Yeah.
And
6 sacks from that.
2012.
Right. And 6 sacks from that spot and that deep into your career, that's just crazy.
It's insane. It's insane. It is insane, man. I got to give it up to Levante David. I enjoy watching him play. He's still operating, man. He hasn't really slowed down. And we'll see what ends up happening. But what's your number 8? Who's your number 8?
All right, my number 8 is I know I mentioned a New York Jet linebacker missing my top 10, but this one landed on the top 10, and that's Jamie Sherwood. That's Quincy Williams' running mate there. 109 tackles, 59 stops, 2 sacks, 10.7% on the missed tackle, so almost single digits. On a team that's on the field a lot too. That defense is on the field a lot. So to be able to perform that way, where your offense isn't, giving you much to work with, is definitely impressive. So I had Jamie Sherwood at my number 8.
I like it. It actually did not make my list, which is kind of crazy. My number 8 is your number 9.
Okay.
Zaire Franklin. You kind of said everything.
Oh, my number 10. Yep.
Your number 10 is Was you number 10?
Yep. I had Campbell 9.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, Zaire Franklin is my number 10. I believe he was Zaire Franklin second team All Pro. He might have been second team All Pro last year.
Might have been, yeah.
Yeah, I think he was second team All Pro. We went through his stats. Since he's been in the league in 2018, played at least 16 games. Remember, back then they only played 16, so he really doesn't miss any games. 173 total tackles last year, including 93 solo, 80 assisted, 3.5 sacks, 5 forced fumbles. 5 forced fumbles is ridiculous.
Crazy. Yeah.
It's really crazy.
16.5
stuffs. He's just all over the field, making plays. You said everything else there is to say about him. Indianapolis got one.
Yes, sir.
The guy's a beast. Second team All Pro. He is my number 8.
All right. My number 7. We saw him in the preseason game too that we talked about. He actually made a really boneheaded penalty during his brief time out there on the field, and that was Frankie Louvu for Washington. 8 sacks from that inside linebacker spot, which is crazy. 15.7% on the missed tackles. He is a little over aggressive. He does over pursue a little bit, kind of Fred Warner-esque, but not quite the athlete that Fred Warner is. So when you see a linebacker with that war paint all over their face, man, that's what I love it, man.
So you with it.
I love it, man. Frankie Louvu was my number 7.
I'm not mad. He's on my list. He's a little bit higher. My number 7. I mentioned I got some ageless wonders. 36 years old.
Yes, sir.
16 games played last year, 136 tackles, which is a career high. Let me say that again. 136 tackles at his oldest age in the league.
Yeah.
Career high. A lot of those, it was kind of split between solo and assisted. 2 sacks. Not really big in the turnover game. He did have 1 interception. He had 9.5 stuffs. Does so much for that defense. Matters to them. We have Demario Davis, New Orleans
Ooh,
Saints.
like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
New Orleans Saints, man. Another guy who I'm just like, yo, he keeps chugging away even at this age. There's other guys, like I said, my 6 through 10. There's other guys you can kind of plug and play. I know somebody that you had on your list next year. I almost put Dre Greenlaw there. I'm a big Dre Greenlaw fan.
Same.
I consider someone like Denzel Perryman. Some other guys, but I just think he deserves that because of what he's able to do in the production and how he gets that defense kind of going.
And we've got his linebacker coach that was partly responsible for all of that success too now.
So we'll see how that works out. But he is going to be my number 7 on the list.
Yes, sir.
Where you at with number 7?
My 7 was Frankie Louvu. So my number 6 was already on your list. I believe he was number 8 for you. One of those ageless wonders. That was Levante David. So I won't regurgitate, the praise about him. But I thought you made a great quote statement, whatever you want to say there, with him being the Mike Evans of that defense, man. Really just steady Eddie. One of those guys you just never hear anybody say anything bad about him. Definitely a leader, both vocally and by example, true professional, and definitely somebody any team would love to have as the anchor on their defense. So Levante Davis was my number 6. Almost cracked my top 5.
All right, I'll wrap up my tops. My second tier, should I say? You already named him. My number 6, Frankie Louvu. I don't know what it was. Maybe he was playing next to Bobby Wagner. He joined Washington last year. And probably his best year in the NFL. Maybe not statistically because he's had more tackles in some seasons, especially during those Carolina years. He didn't play much in New York. And it's funny because I look at Demario Davis, I look at Louvu. You already mentioned Quincy Williams, like a lot of Jets linebackers, so people who played in the organization on this list. But 17 games, 99 total tackles. The most impressive, you already mentioned it, was those 8 sacks. Those 8 sacks were insane from an inside linebacker position. And that team went to the conference championship last year. I think Louvu was second team. He was second team All-Pro. Second team All-Pro nod.
I'm pretty sure,
Yeah, I'm pretty positive of it as well. So that goes to say something also about what he does and what he brings to the game. He was definitely second team All-Pro. So got to give him props for that. Another season that I think he's going to shine in. Like you said, maybe not making the best plays, but who knows? Maybe it's preseason. He just happened to be out there. But that's my number 6. So now we're ready to crack that top 5. But
yes, sir.
Before you go, I mentioned that we might have a special guest. I was talking to somebody that we both know and love and respect.
All right.
And they sent in a list of their top 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna go in order.
All right.
I'm gonna let you know their number 5 right now. Okay.
All right.
I'm just gonna mix up that, throw it into the rotation. They're number 5. Big U son himself.
All right.
Mr. Henley is number 5.
All right.
He says it's his favorite linebacker in all of football.
Like I said, he was my honorable mention. I mean, he really liked that. Like he is really like that.
Favorite linebacker in all of football. Mark my words, will be the highest paid at that position at some point in his career.
A
machine, a monster. His pronouns are him.
A thief.
Number 5, Deion Henley.
I ain't mad at it, man.
Big zero. Big zero.
I ain't mad at it. He went from playing. He went from starting 0 games as a rookie to starting every game last year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Deion Henley.
Yeah, he tough, man. I think he had 147 combined tackles. He had like almost double-digit tackles for loss. Like I said, he it was hard keeping him off the list. Top 5. That's yeah. He only got 1 career sack, man. It was just he couldn't. It was just, nah. But I love it though. I love it. It's provocative.
Like when guests put their list in here, man. Let's go. Who you
sure.
who you got at number 5?
All right, man. My number 5 is from Public Enemy number 1 for me. You know, the number 1 op. Kansas City linebacker Nick Bolton, man. A lot of people thought he was going to be a Bengal this offseason. I never saw it ever happening. Only had 81 tackles this year, but he did have 44 stops, 4 sacks, had a missed tackle rate of 14.4%. And but really, honestly, is the heartbeat of that defense. And you know, a Spag-led defense for him. I think even though you got Chris Jones, I really think Nick Bolton is the guy that kind of is the engine, if that makes sense. So I got Nick Bolton as my number 5.
All right. I ain't mad at that. I'll talk about him very shortly. Number 5 for me. Number 5 for me, another ageless wonder, the last ageless wonder on the list. The ageless wonder of all ageless wonders.
Yes, sir.
Kind of been the premier at that position since he was a part of, you know, we all know it. We all remember the Legion of Boom, but man, Bobby Wagner down there covering the middle linebacker position really made that defense hum and go. 35 years old, played all games last year. Matter of fact, he's played pretty much at least 15 games every year of his career since 2015. He had 11 in 2014, 14 in 2013. Other than that, he's pretty much played all the games. Never had a season where he had less than 100 total tackles. 132 last year. 2 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, 1 forced fumble, 15 stuffs. Most importantly, this is an eye thing. You see him, his instincts, like it's almost like a spidey sense. He knows exactly what to do, where to be, how to read defenses. The reason he's able to play, and I think you could probably say this with the other guys that I mentioned, Levante Davis, Demario Davis. These guys are still in the league performing at a high level because their mental sharpness or their mental, the way they can calculate a play and dissect it and really just attack without thinking, it's really second to none. Obviously, they're not the same in coverage as you would want them to be, and you should expect them to be at that age. But just our pure instincts, Bobby Wagner's number 5 to me. And he kind of came in, and when I looked at that signing last year with Washington, I was like, all right, then this is that Patrick Ewing on the Magic. This is Akeem Olajuwon on the Raptors. You know, there's certain guys that don't look right in those uniforms.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was like, all right, he's just trying to still play and get things going. He just came out to be a stud. He was second team all. Him and his teammate were both second team all pro.
Yeah.
That says everything you need to know. Everything you need to know. So Bobby Wagner is number 5. And real quick, I'm going to just go ahead and shout out my number 4 because it's your number 5. That's going to be Nick Bolton.
Yes, sir.
Down year for him, I agree with you. Down year for him last year, but still one of the best at his position, one of the best in the game. It's really hard to ignore him. I don't know if he was 100% healthy. Still a young dude, only 25 years old. I don't 16 games played, 106 tackles, 3 sacks, all over the field. Got his contract. He's going to be there for a while. I'm always weary of guys who get paid. I want to see how you perform after you've been working for that contract. He's young, 25. Sure. This is his first real deal. So we'll see if he still brings that same intensity or, you know, those pockets getting filled or, you know, all he really needed. So that's my number 4. But before you go to your number 4, let me go to our guest and make sure I shout out his number 4. So I'll pull this up. It's actually going to be my number 5, Bobby Wagner.
Okay.
Description: a mix of buffoonery and a mean spirit, which is a toxic brew.
He is a buffoon for sure.
Nothing else to be said, man. That's number 4 for our guest. Who is your number 4?
Man, I felt bad putting him in this spot, man. Maybe I'm a hater. Nah, ain't no maybe. I'm a hater. I'm a hater.
Don't do it. Don't say what I think you about to say.
Yeah,
there's no way you about to say the name I think you about to say. There's no way. There's no
First
way.
team All Pro, man.
No, Phil.
103 tackles, 53 stops. Only had 1 sack. But the thing I love most about this guy, 6.9% on the missed tackles. That's none other than Roquan Smith, man.
The buffoon of all buffoons.
I got Roquan Smith at number 4. You might have seen him going viral recently for finally learning how to swim. You know, I got Roquan number 4, man. You could argue he number 1, but I got him at number 4, man.
That's more criminal than not having Dex as number 1.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at with it, man. And I'm gonna just go ahead and say my number 3. Both of you already touched on, and that's Bobby Wagner, man. I'm sorry, man. I had to give him the nod. I mean, that team went to the conference championship. He was on a new team, learning the new defense. You know, helped elevate the players around him. I'm sorry, man. Bobby Wagner.
Listen, I'm not gonna feel bad for a Raven being low on the list. But at the same time, my goodness. Yeah. I respect it's your list. It's your list.
Hey, man.
It's my cup. Why you worried about what's in my cup?
Hey, man. He in the top 5 though, man. You know, he in the top 5.
All right. Fair enough. I already mentioned my number 4. Our guest had Nick Bolton at number 3.
Okay.
So I'll just put that out there. No extra comment. Just Nick Bolton, number 3. I respect. My number 3, which Bobby's your number 3. So that means this is probably your number 2. Because I'm not going to do another list with you if we don't have the same number 1. I'm just going to put that out there. I don't. If you troll, if we don't have the same number 1 in this category, you troll. At this point, you just try to do like shock value, and you just try to make some waves, get the algorithm jumping. So I know who your number 2 is, which is going to be my number 3.
All right.
None other than Super Bowl champion, Zach Bond.
Yes, sir.
First team All-Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Wisconsin's finest.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I don't want to say he came out of nowhere because he didn't. He played with New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
But when he got to Philly, man, things just kind of changed. Things kind of
Philly
changed for him.
He predicting the future, dog.
Yeah, he spent 4 years in New Orleans and didn't really play. Started 3 games his first year, 4 one the year after, the 6 his last year there. He goes to Philly in his first season, 17 games played, 152 tackles, 94 solo, 3.5 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 1 interception, 4 pass deflections.
And he was top 5 in defensive player of the year voting, the first team All-Pro.
All over. If our number 1 wasn't such a generational talent, then Zach Bond easily could have been number 1 on my list, or at least in the contention. I still have one person ahead of him, Phil. But and honestly, to your point, as your number 4, I could have easily put Zach Bond at number 2. I really could.
Yeah.
I just didn't necessarily see it necessary at this moment. So I didn't do it, but I don't even know what else to say about him. He is a menace. And I think here's the reason I think I put him at number 3, and it's really not his fault. For some reason, I don't want to say I have to duck points from you, but when you have a really good elite defensive line, it does make your job a little bit easier as a middle linebacker.
For sure.
Right? I know you still have to read the defense, you still have to be the green dots, still have to call out the plays, everything else like that. But his job is a lot easier when you got people like Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter and everyone else opening up all these holes. He just needs to make the play, and he's really good at it. So that is my number 3 on the list.
For sure.
I'm going to read I'm a real quick number 2 from our guest is Roquan Smith.
Yep.
I'll say it right now. Roquan's number 2. That's my number 2 as well. Yeah. Roquan. He been that guy, still that guy. Old school linebacker. Got to play him twice. I hate it when the Ravens traded for him and brought him to our division.
Same.
Absolutely hated it, but I don't know what else. I mean, just put it on his tape. Pick a year. Put it on. Yep. He's been that guy. I don't really have anything else to say. Watch the games and you'll know why he's number 2. Who's your number 2? I think we already covered it. It's probably Zach.
Zach Bond. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You got anything extra to add from what I said?
Man, tackle machine. He had 111 regular season tackles, 69 stops, 4 sacks. Another guy that's single digits on that missed tackle percentage, which I love. You know, linebackers that don't miss tackles are my favorite. So that played a large part as well. So Zach Brown was my number 2.
I ain't mad at it. Number one, you, myself, our guest.
Yes, sir.
There's no way you make a linebacker list. And you can make him. You can probably make the argument since 2018,
Yep.
2019, since 2020. You don't make a list like this without Fred Warner in the top 2,
Facts.
and really
Facts.
top 1. Um,
Facts.
17 games. He doesn't miss games. I think he's only set out 1 game in his entire career. 17 games last year, 131 total tackles, 1 sack, 4 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions, 7 pass deflections. Best coverage linebacker that's in the game. Sideline to sideline, tight end, running back, some slots covering you. I saw there was a game last season. It was a primetime game. Was this last year or the year before? The Cowboys went to San Francisco. And I swear Fred Warner was covering CeeDee Lamb. And I just thought to myself, what in the world am I watching right now? Like, how is this possible? And not like trying to keep up with him. Like, Fred Warner was moving like a cornerback. And it was ridiculous. And I just couldn't imagine being that good at that position. And kind of being the ideal blend of what you want between somebody who can read a play, stop the run, and cover these new age tight ends and who are really just big wide receivers. All while he's a 4-time fast. First team all pro for the 4th time.
In 7
this ain't like
4
the
times
NBA.
in 7 seasons. Yeah.
This ain't like the NBA where you got people that's, first team all NBA 15 times. Like if you're a 4-time first team all pro in the NFL, you might as well get fitted for your gold jacket.
Facts.
That's why Patrick Willis is in the Hall of Fame, even though he retired early. Another San Francisco legend, because every single season he played, you were looking at him the same way you look at Fred Warner. He's got to be number 1 on your list.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about Fred Warner. He's just an absolute beast, and it's not even really. That's the one thing our guest did say. It's not a close second. As much as we say about Zach Bond and Roquan, there's not a close second for Fred Warner.
Yeah,
he's in his own tier, his own category.
Yeah, I mean, because really, if we're talking like a overall list versus like kind of last season going into this season, I think without a doubt you flipping Roquan and Braun on my list. Bond and Roquan is that too, and Roquan cannot cover anywhere near as good as Warner can, where Bond can. You could argue that Bond covered better than Warner last year, but it's 1 year compared to 7. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So because Warner and Bond are both like 6'3", 225, 230. Like they're really the same size. So but Bond, I don't think he's a 4'6" guy like Fred Warner is. So
no, he's not. What did you think of our guys list, man? Do you know who that was?
No, I don't. I mean, I would assume maybe D-Hall, but I have no clue.
Well, before I tell you, what did you think of the list? What do you think of his top 5?
Oh, I love it. You had the splash at 5, and you can't argue with 1 through 4. So
what if I told you that he wanted number 5 to be number 1?
I'd say he was probably drunk when he sent this list.
So now, does that switch up who you think it might be?
Yeah.
Who do you think it is?
A buffoon. But you said I respect him, so I don't know. I don't want to get too crazy. So.
I'm gonna put the comment out here. Because you're gonna know it after I tell you this.
Sure.
He said I wanted to put Henley number 1, but I was trying not to sound like Jordan.
I love it, man. Hey, okay. Yeah, now that I know it's my guy, then I can hear him describing number 5 now. I know how passionate he is. He probably don't even know about the Big U connection either, which makes it even Like it's even that much more.
You might
work,
love him
you
even
know what
more.
I'm saying? Exactly. So
He told you,
yeah.
and he wanted to make sure you knew was if you want to call out a hardball bias, you're 1,000% correct.
No, no, man. I love Deion Henley, man. I love his game, bro. Like I might start watching his highlights when I have a bad day, man. Like he fun to watch, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, man.
And
I'm glad we don't gotta play him again.
that's a shoot. He might be like a 4 or 5 guy. You know what I'm saying? So he I it- we might be talking about him in that same breath as Fred Warner. So what Corey is saying is not that crazy. It's not that far fetched. But you know, saying he gonna be the top paid and all that other stuff. Like, yeah, you see a linebacker rocking number 0. I'm gonna be a little concerned.
Yeah, man. I'm upset I forgot to mention him on my name. That's the
Yeah.
number 1 guy who I expect to be on this list next season.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I just couldn't put him in there off of the.
Yeah, Corey said he's trying to put him number 1, man. Stop playing around.
Stop playing with him.
Yeah, man. All right, y'all. That's it.
Yes,
Talked about
sir.
some Bengals. We talked about the top 10 middle linebackers. We still technically, because I fumbled the middle linebacker episode, we're still a series behind, so we're going to figure out a time to give you our safeties and cornerback list. That might be a standalone episode. Our next episode, if it's not that, then it's definitely going to be a recap of this preseason game against the Colts. Here's the thing, though. It might not come until middle of next week, y'all. I'm going to be out of town Sunday to Wednesday morning of next week. So maybe Wednesday evening, if Phil is available, we'll probably talk about that last preseason game, maybe talk about some roster expectations. I forget the exact cut date. And then we can also discuss.
Cut day is August 26th, 4 p.m. Eastern. So next Tuesday, actually. Yeah, Tuesday.
Okay, then, well, we might not have a roster. We might just be recapping who made the team. Because I think we won't be able to record until the 27th at my earliest. So yeah, we'll talk about who made the team, and then we'll probably fill in with top 10 safeties and linebackers, and then we also have to do our edge rushers as well.
Yep.
And we'll finish things out with pass catchers, and then of course the big job, you know.
Yes, sir.
The big job, quarterback position in the NFL. So we appreciate y'all as always for tuning in. Thanks for listening to us. Thanks for being fans. Thanks for being Bengals fans, football fans, closer and closer to that day. We look forward to talking to y'all soon. Phil, I appreciate you, my brother.
You already know.
With that being said, of course, man. With that being said, who they?
Who they?